And welcome to 12.5 minutes. My name is Jared Kelly, and I am with my friend and co-host, Liz Whitehead.
Hi,
How are
Jared.
you? How are you?
I'm really good.
Excellent. Excellent. Usually you have a lot more energy than this, so you're kind of being shy today. I don't know. Well,
Uh,
I'm excited because, as always, we have the pleasure of introducing phenomenal founders and wonderful executives of great businesses across the nation. And from what you've told me, we have a fantastic guest today. So tell us a little bit about who we're going to talk to.
so you know that last year I got B Corp certified, which is a sustainability certification. And so once you do that, so the whole idea of the certification is that you get it, but you don't set it and forget it. You have to continuously improve. So you look at different ways like, oh, how could that be more sustainable? How could I do that? And one of the things, like now when I go to events all the time, I look at all the cups people are throwing away. Look at all these plates. Like, look at all this stuff that could be more sustainable. But that typically isn't. And so when I met this founder, I was really interested in connecting. So this is an opportunity for me to connect with her as well as connect her to all of you.
That's awesome. Well, Pallavi, please come to the show. Come in, come in, come in. We are excited to meet you and hear about Detox.
Likewise, thank you for having me, Liz and Jared. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, excellent. So let's get to it. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm excited to hear, and Liz as well. We are excited to hear um, what exactly are you doing with Detox, and where are you in this beautiful world? Because I look at your background here. Where are you?
Oh, I wish I was literally here with the trees and the beautiful sunlight, but I'm still in the sunlight in Portland, Oregon. Yes, we have sunlight today because Oregon is known for its rain, but it's a beautiful summer day just without these trees. And that is why I have this in my backdrop here because in the last 5 years, I have become this notorious mompreneur who's been rescuing these palm leaves. And if you're wondering what kind of palm leaves are these are areca palm leaves, spelled as Areca, also called betel nut palm leaves. And we rescue these leaves, we upcycle the leaves to create sustainable tableware from them for homes and events.
Sustainable tableware.
Tableware, yes, you heard it right. Like plates, bowls, spoons, straws, charcuterie boards, food service trays. And that is it in our catalog for now because it's hard to twist and turn the leaves because they crack. So if you're wondering why don't we have cups, drinking water cups, or for that matter, forks, it is very hard to twist the leaves. They do get a crack. So it's easier to heat compress the leaf and form them into flat dishes like plates and charcuterie trays. And we've gone up to 6 inches deep to create bowls out of them. So the deepest bowl that we have right now is like 6 inch deep.
Wow, that's really cool. It's also neat to hear about the technique.
So for the technique, what will be really intriguing is if you have time or when you have time, do check out this link right here, www.dtocs, spelled as detox, which echoes with the meaning detoxification, which means cleansing journey with leaves. And there on the website, we have a page about a product journey where you can actually see the leaves that are on the ground, the heat compressing machines, how big they are. And they are just like any other ironing machines, like where you iron your clothes with the heat. So those are similar machines, but in way larger size. And you just put the leaves through them and heat compress the leaves to give them the formation of the shape and the size you desire. And then you will also see in that process how we are so proud to hire women workers in India because these trees are actually found in certain parts of the world. For example, in India, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Bali. And I was very intentional in picking India as my manufacturing source or ground for the raw material. It was because I was born in India. And that was my first way to give back to the community where I was born, where I did belong at one point of time. So that is why I still have my vendor suppliers, contract manufacturing in India. If you're wondering, where do I get the palm leaves from? Because I wish I could source them here in California or Florida, right? But that being said, to bring it into a holistic brand approach, I was born in India, and while I was a child, I ate on banana leaves. And that is a part of my culture that is even live today. So I don't know if you've ever been to India before or if the listeners have ever been to India, but that is a cultural part of how we treat hospitality. Like if you visit the southern part of India, they will actually serve you food on a green, a very raw banana leaf. And they'll ask you to use your fingers and just enjoy the food and the whole motor skills and the smell and the touch and the feel and just experience that. So I was so nostalgic about those memories as a child that when I became a mom, I thought, how can I become a more responsible human being, a more responsible parent? How can I role model to teach something to my kids? And the thing is, you know what? I love to party, but I hate the cleanup. I don't know how many people are there with me? Raise your hands. I hate the cleanup. Yes. And I'm like, I wish there was a sustainable tableware alternative because I am tired of these plastics, which are toxic, the cheap paper, the expensive bamboo. Like, talk about bamboo boards, $30 for one board. And I'm like, no. Or for that matter, the boring, heavy traditional Chinaware, the white. My wrist starts hurting with all those. So when I was hosting, I was struggling with finding the perfect alternative. And that's when I thought of my childhood experience and I was like, oh my God, India has been serving on leaves for centuries. And I just need to bring my culture and I need to associate this with the brand where I can provide this alternative to the consumers here in the US. And slowly we grew into consumers in US and Canada. So now we cater to a lot of restaurants, food service, caterers, charcuterie makers, weddings, event planners, corporations. Wherever there is a fundraiser, a gala, soiree, that's where we've been able to replace people's plastic and paper plates just in the last 5 years.
That is awesome. So that was a lot to take in. First of all, I heard that you basically invited us to go to India with you. And then I also heard that you like to party and we're going to get an invitation at some point in time. I don't know what type of event it will be, but we're going to come, certainly. And then what I also heard was about growth. That is fantastic. So I don't know how this started out for you, but I am very curious with that growth, like what challenges are you facing or what nuances are you facing with now being in Oregon and then supplying to different parts of the nation or the world?
That's a great question. Again, because nobody wrote COVID in their business plan, of course, we had to maneuver through a lot of challenges in supply chain and logistics, which I'm glad is behind us now. We've r- risen from it. So our growth trajectory today is very robust. We are very promising because we cater to two countries, United States and Canada. And in the pipeline, we have Japan, Mexico, and Europe, where we're going to be expanding by the end of this year. And if you really ask the reason why, it's because everybody knows there's a problem of landfill. Everybody knows that at homes or at events, we are using these single-use disposables that cause harm. So the problem is not that there are these problems. The real problem is what to do. What is the alternative? And that is where I come into picture with my solution of these tableware. And we've successfully expanded our reach here through direct-to-consumer sales, through partnerships with Amazon. Amazon has been one of my biggest retailer, my distributor. And we have a strong online presence by now, and we're just trying to aim into retailers so that you, Jared, and you, Liz, don't have to plan your online shopping and then having to worry about delivery on time. So I'm like, you just go with your shopping cart, take the products off of shelf, put it in your shopping cart, come back to your home and be like, today I will not do dishes and I want to enjoy sipping on my fine wine, right? So that's the kind of convenience I want to provide people. And like I said, again, people, planet, parties, that is what I advocate for because I love to party, but I hate the cleanup part. But I also want something that's fast cleanup and not giving me the guilt of elephant-sized landfills because you will be really flabbergasted with this staggering number that I'm going to throw out at you. In 1 year, in just United States, do you know how much of single-use paper and plastic waste is created?
Mhm.
It is 960,000 metric tons, which, if to put it in a perspective, is equivalent to the weight of 150,000 elephants. That is just in 1 year. So that is really a big problem. And the elephant in the room is landfill, and that is what we're trying to do here.
That's I think Pallavi is one of our people, Jared. The party thing has come up more than once, so
Sustainable parties, eco events, hashtag.
Love it. I love it. You know what? The thing that makes a big difference to us, and I think what you've really outlined is impact and sustainable impact. And so I'm curious. You gave us a great data point on that in terms of where the problem is. Do you have some idea about what type of results that you've been getting, or type of impacts that you've been making with the communities that you care about?
Sure. Starting from the first community, which I said, I intentionally chose India to be our manufacturer because I wanted to hire women workforce and I wanted to make a difference in their livelihoods. That was where we started 5 years ago. And then in these last 5 years, we've of course added education scholarships to children in India. We've added thousands of dollars that we've pledged to a local nonprofit here in Portland. It is called Greater Than Portland. And what we do over there is we advocate again for education for underrepresented children in the communities. And if you're wondering, why am I talking about education so much? It is because where I am today, it is because of my education background. That being said, in India, I belong to a very average class, middle class family. And my parents never owned a car or a house since I was in kindergarten. And what they did with all that money was they sent me to the best Catholic convent school in India. And that was 40 years ago. That's where I went for my education. So I truly believe I have very progressive, very non-conservative parents who believe in educating your kids because that's what you can make out of in your life the most. If you can provide kids with the best resources, the sky's the limit. They can do so much with that. And that's why I emphasize so much on education. And that is the sole reason why my kids also go to the best private school here in Oregon, because my motto is to send them or give them the best resources. What they make out of them is up to them. And that being said, our last or another social impact was we donated sewing machines to a group of women in India for their vocational trainings. And the one of the heartwarming stories from that was Geeta, who we donated the machine to. When I went there last year in November, she did the ribbon cutting of her shop with one machine. And I was like, Geeta, how are you going to run the whole shop with one machine? And she was like, I got it, ma'am. This is what I needed. And you played God in my life by giving me this machine because I didn't have the means to get something like this. And I was spellbound. Because look at that motivation. She has to run the whole shop with one machine, and she already has a business plan. She already signed the lease. And I think her rent was much more than the sewing machine, what it costed. So that's the power of, and this is just one woman, and we have 10 other women like this. There's somebody who's running a whole sewing school with one machine, and she rents this machine that I donated to her on an hourly basis to 10 women. And she's somehow making it into a positive cash flow business. So, so these are the impacts that we've been able to create in people's lives. And this is just the beginning. The impact has no borders. We can do impact in n number of countries, but it's one step at a time. We have to first be empowering ourselves in business, be positive cash flow, and then be a catalyzer in the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this has been fantastic. Let me just tell you that. And what I also get from you is that you are a giver, and I sense it, I feel it, and I want to thank you for being on the show on behalf of Liz and myself. You know, I do think that we are much more informed than we were before we started this. How can people reach you, or what would you like to say to the audience before we head up?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity because I feel underrepresented founders really need a platform like this for brand visibility, awareness, like you yourself said, you know much more now. So this is a win for me. And what I am here looking for today is connecting with environmentally conscious consumers who give a damn, not just about what you're using for detoxification inside your body, but also outside, because that's what we stand for, cleansing journey inside outside. So we're looking for businesses, consumers, organizations who would like to align with our commitment to sustainability and want to know more. The best way, of course, is to get in touch with us on our website. And there is a chat button. Of course, you can connect, but also check out our social media. If you're falling short of ideas, of inspiration, of how to make these sustainable life changes in your life, definitely check out our Instagram, which is Detox Plates. And the reason for the name Detox Plates is because when I started 5 years ago, I didn't have a bigger vision. And I literally started my business with 4 plates. So hence the name was Detox Plates. But then, of course, we added more products into our catalog, from plates to bowls to charcuterie boards to spoons to straws, et cetera, et cetera. But the name stayed because I don't want to forget where my roots come from. And my offer to the consumers or audience today is, of course, we are a brand and we are committed to providing the best quality products, experience, customer service. And that is where I encourage everybody to get in touch with me on LinkedIn as well. Find me and start a conversation. Ask me questions. How many days does your products compost in? I'll be happy to share. 90 days. Are your products microwave safe? Yes. Are you certified compostable? Yes. Are you certified women on brand? Yes. So I love those kind of questions. Nothing is negative, or I love feedback. So that is another thing. And thank you, Jared and Liz, for inviting me on the show.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will talk to you soon, definitely. Now, Liz, this is your time of the show, so I would ask you, what did you learn?
I mean, I think Pallavi said it best herself when she's like, if you love to party but hate the cleanup. And I think that's true on an individual level, like at our houses, having a party and hating the cleanup, but also on a global level. Like, we got to clean this place up. We got to get it cleaned up.
Exactly.
So she's making an impact on both fronts. So I think that's awesome.
You're absolutely right. I did echo that sentiment, and it was fantastic meeting Pallavi, and this has been fantastic. So hopefully people get a chance to visit our website. There might be a special offer there that we can extend, and certainly we will meet you and talk to you all soon. Through the chat, through the comments, please leave your comments, and we will get a chance to interact that way. And thank you for tuning in to 12.5 minutes. This is Jared, and this is Liz. Until next time, bye-bye.